If you use, for example, those plugs here.
What's wrong with you?
It sounds very synthesizer-like, and it doesn't sound authentic. It sounds like it's made from a computer. So the tip I'm going to give you is layer the sound. Welcome to the video on the red couch. In this video you're going to find out how to produce EDM in a more organic way. I'm going to teach you 3 techniques I'm using for my own music productions to make the synthesizer and this like really generic music more authentic and more organic. I'm going to give you the first example based on my track what I produced. It's called What's That Feeling. Go on the link in the description, check it out on Spotify, it's a really nice track. So the first step I want to give you guys today is called produce outside the grid. You can see in every DAW, like the piano roll is here basically, and you can just play notes on the grid. You can perfectly even press Command A and articulate and basically quantize everything and make it sound perfect. So what I did in my track is I produced the track and I basically put a lot of notes outside the grid, like they're not on the grid. I didn't quantize it because I realized that this sounds really great. Listen to the plugs. As you can see here, basically almost none of the plugs are on the grid. They are a bit off, like this is the only one which is completely on. If I would do, let's just listen to the plugs by itself. They sound pretty authentic. If I would press Command Q, you can hear like they sound way too boring, and there's like this trim. It makes it authentic. It makes it like it's not perfect. That's exactly what makes it really interesting. And then the second tip I want to give you guys as well today is called play with the velocity. Create tension, release, make it louder, make it quieter, and you can use this in every element. Let's just start a new pattern. Let's just like take all those notes, Command A, copy all of them, and let's just add some strings, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. This is, by the way, a free plugin. If you, by the way, haven't checked out my other videos on how to mix the kick and your bass of your tech house tracks properly, make sure you check out this video. I'm going to link that up here. Also give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to not miss out any really useful production tips. So play with the velocity. For example, you have to go really in detail and just like think a little bit about what exactly creates movement in music. It's like louder, more quiet, the most like this. The third tip is layering. Let's just say you listen to those plugs and they sound, if by itself they sound quite authentic, but if you use, for example, no other sounds like different sort of plugs. This is Serum, by the way, so let's just go on. If you use, for example, those plugs here.
What's wrong with you?
It sounds very synthesizer-like, and it doesn't sound authentic. It sounds like it's made from a computer. So the tip I'm going to give you is layer the sound, which basically add, for example, like instruments like a piano on bottom of it. You can just use, for example, Flex from FL Studio. By the way, FL Studio has a way better software than Ableton ever will be, so I'm going to stop all those discussion now about it. So yeah, just go on a piano and then you can just basically layer on top of your plugs, which are sounding of synthetic, add the piano, and then it's going to create some more authenticity. It adds harmonics, which makes it really authentic, especially if you use instruments like a piano in the background. Even if you make it really quiet, like the goal is not to like put it in the foreground, the goal is to like layer it on the top so you can't really hear that it's a piano. That's, for example, way too loud. Like this. You have this impression that it's basically one instrument playing, but it's a piano in the background. Put notes off the grid, don't make it sound too perfect. Second factor is definitely play with the velocity, especially with strings. Make strings, for example, when you play long notes with strings, make them louder the more it progresses to the next note. Like change the velocity of every note, like it can be anything. Automate everything in your DAW you can basically use. It makes it really interesting and not as fake and synthetic. And the third tip, as I said to you, is layer the sounds. Use under the synthetic sound you use, put a piano, put strings, put any instrument which is way more authentic than any synthesizer, and that's gonna make the sound, change the sound and make it like more real. Comment below this video as well what exactly you want me to cover in my future music production tutorials. Do you want me to like produce more tutorials about like how to produce tech house, how to produce minimal deep tech, or how to produce tech house like this specific artist? Or just comment in the section below what exactly you would like to learn, and I can make a video just for you. And if you're an FL Studio user, I'm proud of you, because you are one of the great people who actually decided themselves for the right door and produce tech house or house music. And I'm really proud of you, because we're all one family. We're all here to push Ableton aside and just take over with FL Studio. Like,